Great blue heron is a member of the egret and heron family. They're really close related. Egrets are always white, herons blue or gray. And the great blue heron is an alligator eater. He will catch, kill, and eat alligators. First, you got to kill the alligator. It's be bad news to swallow a live alligator.
You bet.
You can pretty much estimate the size of a gator by looking at the head. As a good rule of thumb, the amount of inches between the nose and the eyes will determine how long the alligator is in feet. 2 inches, you got a 2-foot alligator. 12 inches, you got a 12-foot alligator. From October to March, they don't ingest food. The average daily temperature for the alligator doesn't induce their digestion. So if they would happen to eat something in the wintertime, it wouldn't digest, it would rot. And the toxins from the rotting meat could kill the animal. What he's laying on right now is called a flottant. It's floating land. It's a combination of many, many different types of herbaceous plants. That alligator can sleep underneath here. When the air temperature gets colder than the water, he simply drops below the water and he can survive the winter. The nutria is a South American mammal. Today they are found on every continent in the world except 2, Antarctica and Australia. The female will have 3 litters a year. She will always have 4 babies. The babies will be all the same sex. The babies nurse on their mama's backs. Evolution has migrated their mammary glands to their backs. The bird in the tree here is an anhinga. Has a long pointed beak. He's black. And he's a very primitive species of bird. His bones are mostly solid. Modern birds' bones are hollow, so this makes him prehistoric. He wants to go underwater, and if the feathers are oily, they'll hold air between the body and the feathers, and his buoyancy will affect his ability to fly underwater. By having no oil, he can squeeze all the air out, and he sinks like a rock. When he finishes fishing, though, he has to dry his feathers, because if he doesn't, they're going to get mold and mildew on him. Spanish moss doesn't have a root. It doesn't take anything from the tree except support. It absorbs all the nutrition it needs from the air that surrounds it. It's an epiphyte, and it's in the pineapple family. There's a tremendous amount of wetlands, rice fields, crawfish ponds, catfish ponds, other swamps. They can go out and gather food and bring back to their chicks. They each take turns guarding the babies while the other one goes gather food. They have to bring the food back in their gullet, and they feed the babies. Eventually the babies are flying out the nest. They tease them. They lead them from the rookery further and further each day. And then when they get them to the feeding grounds, they abandon them. They're on their own. They're out the nest. If you look through the woods, through the swamp, through the cypress trees, you'll see a dark line. And it's a result of a high water mark. When the water rises in here 4 or 5 feet higher than it is today, it kills the lichens, the light blue-green on these trees. And the lichens are very slow to regenerate, so that mark stays in the woods for a long time. Clotilde is a name I've given to a female alligator. This is her territory. And Clotilde dug this hole out, or may have taken it over from another alligator that transpired. And right here, it's only about 1 foot deep. And as you get further back, it gets a little deeper, and then eventually it plunges downwards, and then back up, and then goes a burrow that goes back maybe 10, 15 feet. And there's a cavern where she can turn around and come back out. These alligator holes, not only in the swamps, but in the marshes, are also providing help for the ecosystem. When your water dries up for miles around, this might be the only source of water, and you got fish, frogs, snakes, turtles, all surviving in these holes. So when the swamp water fills back up, or the marsh fills back up, it can repopulate the area. Hey, what better place you got to work but here? You know, it doubles as my office, good fresh air. I see all these birds every day. I get all kinds of opportunities taking pictures. And I get a lot of insight here.